Yeah. Jide, this is the season, where pronouncement, you hear certain pronouncements and there is more questions than answers.
Yes, it's just mischief making. Some people looked at the way the election went. You can see that Obi did not even score up to 25% in 20 states. And he wants to be president. The route to the presidency, we didn't
comply with.
Yes. You need to score 25% in 24 states.
Yeah.
Atiku also didn't score up to 25% in 24 states. It was only Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that achieved that. So now, seeing that they've been defeated, you will now see lawyers shutting the door against reason
and logic.
Revolting against logic, and then arguing baselessly on matters that had been decided as early as 2003. Okay. That section 299 of the Constitution, by saying that Abuja shall be regarded, shall be treated as a state, it effectively shuts up the people making so much noise about this thing.
Yeah.
We have seen before that lawyers will brush aside the law once their client is interested in a particular angle of the debate. They brush aside the law. We've seen that before. And at the end of the day, what usually happens, reason will prevail because the truth always prevails. You can imagine, even if the people who wrote the Nigerian Constitution were dunderheads, there is no way that they will be thinking in their hearts that even if a man earns 80% of the total vote cast in our country,
yeah,
that if he does not get 25% in Abuja, he can't be elected. There's nowhere in the world where anybody has come up with that kind of law. Democracy is a very simple thing. You have the majority of the votes. You have the majority of the votes and the required spread. That is the route to the presidency.
Yeah.
The people in Abuja, they don't have two heads. The people who live in Abuja, they don't have two heads. They do not go around with double genitalia. They are just like other people in our country. Yeah. Their votes are not special. The votes that they cast are not special.
Put simply, FCT is not a state.
FCT is not a state.
It has only one senator. And so
it doesn't have a governor.
Doesn't have a governor.
Yeah, so there are some characters of a state that FCT
does not have.
Yeah, so it's an administrative area. Its own parliament is the National Assembly that functions as its own parliament. Whereas in Lagos, we have House of Assembly. So it is not a state. And when the law says, and the FCT, it envisions that there will be people who will not, who could even score 25% in 23 states and could be lucky to score 25% in FCT. Yeah. So in that case, they would then treat FCT as a state so that that person can have his route to the presidency. The people who are doing all this mischief making, I see them, they write it, they put it on top, they talk about double registration too, that Atiku had already won election as the governor of Adamawa State before Obasanjo picked him as his vice presidential.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember I asked him that day on TV, will you be loyal to me? It was on NTA.
Yeah.
So now we are hearing about double registration. That is one of the bases upon which they are seeking the disqualification.
Chetima.
But the most ridiculous of all is this Abuja thing. And I can't imagine that lawyers will be arguing baselessly. Senior lawyers, so...
No, it's actually Dati Ahmed that started this thing. Unfortunately, so. He said...
I don't think it's Dati Ahmed.
No, he said...
I saw... even...
He was on television saying that it's only Labour Party that has 25%.
But lawyers have seen lawyers who are similarly saying the same thing. The moment they realized that that provision was there, and they knew that Asiwaju didn't have it.
And another...
It became a weapon that they've been using.
And another point they are pushing is the fact that, they are comparing our constitution and our election to WAEC results. That WAEC will tell you that you must have 5 credits, including English and Maths.
Yeah.
And I said, this one is not like WAEC. It's like Premiership, that just have the number of points, whether you beat the
if
top
I get
team,
them correctly now, if I get their ridiculous logic
very
correctly,
ridiculous.
what they are saying is that Arsenal can beat anybody, but because it has not been able to beat Man City,
City.
Therefore it should not be crowned. It should not be crowned as a
honestly, that's what
Premier
they're
League
trying to say.
Jamiu, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
The current president didn't score 25% in FCT, but he's sitting there.
Yes, in the second time,
So
yes.
is that at
it
least-
didn't. See, another fact is now it is Labour Party that is pushing this. Now let's look at this. Labour Party came third.
So they are thinking that with by 25% in
Percent.
Abuja,
Without
they came
having
third, they can go to the top.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can become number 1.
They will have to kill Atiku first. They will have to kill Atiku first. And these characters too, I think we need to tell Nigerians. In the Southwest, Labour Party only won in Lagos. Out of the 6 states in the Southwest, only 1. As in winning the majority, not the 25% now. In South-South, where we have 6 states, and it's supposed to be their forte.
5.
Their stronghold.
South, okay.
Yes, South-South, 6 states. So, they only won in 3 states, Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom. In North Central.
Who won Rivers?
No, for presidency.
They didn't win Rivers.
No, sorry, they actually lost. Sorry, they lost 3 states. These are the states they lost. Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom. They won Cross River and 2 other states. Edo and Delta. The Labour Party lost Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom. North Central, 6 states. It only won in Nasarawa and Plateau. Lost in the 4 other states. Kogi, Kwara, Benue, and I think Niger. In the Northeast, 0/6. Northeast, that's Adamawa, Yobe, and Co. 0/6. Southeast, of course, 5/5. Northwest, that's the highest voting concentration
of voters
in the country with 7 states, 28 million registered voters, 0/7. And you want to be president.
They didn't even score.
Not even.
I think the best performance they made in the Northwest was in Kaduna, where they also scored 21% or so. They didn't
not even 25% in any of them. So, Labour Party actually won 11 states.
11 states, yes.
But because in the federal election, Abuja is regarded as a federal constituency. All the states in a federal election are federal constituencies. National constituencies, presidential constituencies. So that's why you now see the 3 parties having 12, and NNPP having 1. We now wonder, do we have 37 states? No. So, if you are saying that because you won in Abuja, you want to be president, are you going to kill Atiku? Let us even assume that APC is their problem. APC is not in the equation. How do you take Atiku away?
Take Atiku out of the equation?
Out of the equation.
Because Atiku had greater spread.
Greater number of...
No, he didn't get to 24.
Yes, greater and the number of majority votes.
Popular votes.
The person who won this election is clear. And the rest, what we are saying is just nasty politics head banging on the wall, signifying nothing.
Jide,
The election has been won and lost.
the final straw that would break their camel's back is that in a worst case scenario that perchance if there's going to be a rerun, Labour Party won't be part of that rerun.
It's just two
because
parties.
they came third.
Two parties.
It's two parties, first and second. So what's the noise?
All right, let's allow the courts.
They are the ones telling people.
No, we
that
need
they
to let them know this.
No, because
Let's
there
allow.
were some opinion polls that we talked about then. Opinion poll that gave Obi a higher chance of winning Kano. Over Kwakwanso. Is that not lunacy?
And they believe it.
Lunacy? So some
gentlemen,
of those opinion polls now, they are citing those opinion polls.
Gentlemen,
that they
we must
thought
go
they
to
would
our
get
last topic. Time is tight.
No, we need to let Nigerians know about this one.
Okay.